These days, I hear an awful lot of worry about the future, worry about the course of our nation, worry about the wars and potential wars in this world, worry about the economy, the cost of living, the national debt, worries about crime and homelessness and drug use, worries about the loss of morals and values. And most of the bigger worries that we have are indeed matters of real importance. But as people of faith, we are called to look at the future in a different way than the people of this world. We are called not only to trust our lives to God, but to trust our future to Him as well. In Psalm 31, King David writes about a time when life was difficult, when his enemies were plotting against him and lying about him, and the future seemed uncertain. And yet throughout this psalm, David affirms his trust in God. And listen in particular to what he says in verses 14 and 15. He says, "But I trust in you. Lord, I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands." So David affirms unequivocally here that his life is in God's hands. But notice that he says not just at this time, but he says all my times, meaning all the times of his life, past, present, and future, are in God's hands. So David is clear that God not only holds the past, not only holds the present, but that it is God who is the one who holds the future. And really, this should be our perspective too. We need to trust that God holds the future in His hands and that He's got it. Now, does this mean that everything's going to be easy and always work out for us? Well, not at all. Jesus Himself said that in this life we will have trouble. But what this does mean is that we can live with hope, knowing that God will take care of us and that God has a plan for our lives and for this world. As the history of this nation and this world unfolds, we need to be clear that history in a very real way is His story, that He is indeed in control, that He's got it, and we can trust Him, so we don't need to worry. And this is in fact exactly what Jesus says. In Matthew 6, Jesus talks about worry and basically says that we don't need to worry about our lives because God's got it. So He closes that whole passage in verse 34 saying this, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." And what Jesus basically means there is that we don't need to worry about the future. God's got it. All we need to do is focus on living for Him the best we can today. So don't worry about the future. God's got it.